everyone, today we're going to be doing a dreamy portrait photo shoot session with the Nikon Z8, and I have two lenses today. I'm going to be using the 50mm f1.2 and the 85mm f1.2, so let's get started. Yeah, that's so pretty. The first lens I'm using for this photo shoot is the Nikon Z 50mm f1.2s, and gosh, this lens produces some stunning results. I have some thoughts to share about the Z8 in today's video, but before we get into that, let me share with you some information about this 50 because this is the first time I'm using it in a video on my channel. And do you want to try crouching just there as well, maybe facing that way? You can kind of be like that. Yeah, that's so cool. You can see this one a little bit better. Oh, I love it. Me too. I love it. So what do we need to know? This 50 f1.2 is a 1090 gram full frame prime lens. It features a focus ring and a customizable control ring. This lens is fully weather sealed, has an AF to MF switch, an 82mm filter thread, a display button to cycle through aperture, depth of field, and focus distance on the little screen it has, and finally a function button. Oh, that looks cool there with the sun like right behind you. Oh my gosh, I love these photos. Do you want to do a couple sitting on the ground as well? Yeah, I love that. And do you want to try putting both your elbows on your knees? Yeah. And I'll get like a further away shot too, like a bit more full body. Yeah, that's cool. Nikon have such a great lineup of prime lenses to choose from if you're a photographer who likes to create dreamy portraits, you need sharp, high quality lenses, or you tend to work in low light regularly. Yes, that's so cool. We have this 50, the 85mm f1.2, which I'll be using later in this video, and the Nikon Z 135mm f1.8s Plena, which I have a review and portrait photo shoot about, and I'll leave that link down below if you want to watch. And then we'll do one more standing because now the sun's hidden behind that tree. It'd be cool to do a couple of like movement-y ones if you wanted to kick your legs around and sway the dress as well. Yeah, that's perfect. This 50 was super easy to use for our portrait session. With the Z8, it had no problems keeping up with autofocus, and I had a high in-focus ratio with critical focus on the eyes. This lens is very sharp and clear while still looking flattering for portraits, and the out-of-focus transition is so smooth and creamy. I absolutely love what it looks like. And then we'll drive down to the autumn trees as well. Oh, that's so pretty. While this lens is a little bit on the heavier side, I do think it's worth it for the results it produces. If this 51.2 is a little out of your price range or a little too heavy for you, I have also done a photo shoot with the Nikon Z 50mm f1.8s on the Nikon ZF. So if you want to see the results from that, it's linked down below for you. That would look cool actually if you wanted to pace around on the spot like side to side, this way a couple of steps and then back that way as well. Yeah, that's super cool. Alright, awesome. And then that actually looks really nice there. The light's like right behind you. The colors straight out of the Z8 are great, and I find them really easy to work with, even in trickier situations like this where we have the oranges of those leaves reflecting back onto Amelia's skin. Speaking of, it is currently autumn in Australia at the moment. I know a lot of you already know this, but some people are really shocked when I say that. The seasons are opposite in the Southern Hemisphere, so we have winter in July and Christmas during the summer. Anyway, I'm gonna switch lens actually. Oh, backwards. I'm switching over to the Nikon Z 85mm f1.2 S lens now. I'm gonna take a couple of steps back so you're more in the sun. Where's the sun? Yes, it's so cool. Very dreamy. Portrait photography in a very autumny location like this can be a little tricky. In your editing software, skin color can be on the same color spectrum as the autumn leaves, so oranges, yellows, and reds. So it can be a little difficult to balance the edit if you want the leaves to be super vibrant and warm without overdoing it on the skin tones. A little trick I want to share with you is that I like to mask out the portrait and only lower the white balance on the subject. This will help level out those oranges and make them look a bit more flattering. So that's what I did in these photos here. Do you want to stand out there in the sun? Yeah. I'll probably get like with the sun on your face. I also decided to edit this entire session with my Amalfi preset pack because I love those muted brown tones. I think it really suits the locations and the outfit we were shooting with today. And I'll leave my preset link down below if you want to see more before and after photos from different portrait sessions. Lovely. And do you want to try one where you stretch your arms up? The last time I used this 85 1.2, we did a photo shoot on the streets of Sydney. So I thought this time it would be great to use this lens in a location where I could create more bokeh with the background. And that's exactly what I was keeping an eye on for the rest of this session. It's so easy to like press the button on this, like go a bit overboard sometimes. And do you want to try sitting just here? I feel like it'd be cool if you wanted to sit here and you could like lean back on the tree. Nikon have been heading in a really good direction for portrait photographers. The Z8 and ZF had improvements in human autofocus. It's snappy and fast, and you're able to rely on it to capture in-focus images of your subjects. Wow, okay. It's worth it, yeah. Yes, it's like so ridiculously dreamy there. Wow, so cool. The Nikon Z8 is one of Nikon's top of the line camera bodies available at the time of making this video, and I agree that it is a super impressive camera. But unless you're a wedding photographer, it is difficult to utilize all its features for just portraits. We then have the ZF, which is also a fantastic camera and even has dual card slots to use the camera in a professional setting. However, for me personally, it is lacking in ergonomics in order to be able to use this camera body full time. What I personally would love to see from Nikon to fill in this gap is an update to their Z6 and Z7 line, and I'm hoping we will see that this year. Don't get me wrong, these are great cameras as they are, but I am looking forward to seeing the new AF performance in this camera line. Let me know what you think in the comments and if there's anything else you want added into this series. Oh wow, it's so nice there. Even though an 85mm focal length is great for capturing those close-up headshots that I couldn't quite get with the 50mm focal length earlier, I think the magic really lies when you take a few steps back to capture more of the environment in the frame as well. Unlike the 50, where you can make out parts of the background even when shooting wide open, on an 85mm, that background is totally thrown out, which makes the scene look otherworldly and magical, especially during a golden hour like this. Well, we're just keeping an eye on like a spider web. Yeah, beautiful. Stunning. And then, can we try a crouching one here as well? Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's so cool. At the top of the hill, we have a really good vantage point for the golden hour to come streaming in. There are also lots of different tree branches that I can use in my compositions to get that bokeh in the background of my shots. I absolutely adore the background to foreground separation of this lens. It is so buttery smooth and looks really amazing for this style of dreamy portrait photography. I can see this being a really great lens for wedding photographers actually. If I were a full-time Nikon shooter, I would very heavily use this lens for my work. Do you want to stand right here like when the sun's hitting your face? The 85mm focused well during this backlight. I had a couple of out of focus images when the light got really strong, but also lots of sharp photos to choose from as well. Oh, I should get a full body shot here as well. The 85 ghosts and flares in such a beautiful way. I'm really loving the character of this lens in these lighting conditions. In the last few photos, you can also spot a tiny little rainbow in the bokeh, which adds such a nice touch to the photos. There's like a spot, oh, here. The sun is just so soft right now. I also want to say a big thank you to our team. Amelia is our model and she makes it so easy. We managed to capture so many photos at the end here in such a short amount of time. Lydia, who's on hair and makeup, and Dan, who's filming the behind the scenes. Look how cool that is.
Oh my god,
like
I
these.
love that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. It's a wrap. That is all I have for today's photo shoot on the Nikon Z8. I'd love to know which ones are your favorite photos down in the comments below and what you think of these two lenses. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I'll see you all next time. Bye. Look how dreamy this light is.